investigate Bartholomew's advice at times that seem to be appearing on the world stage now. If you're watching, both within America and the Americas and abroad, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of confusion. And Bartholomew was very direct about this kind of thing. And his first and constant statement was, never distance yourself from the chaos and say, oh, it's theirs. Look at them. How chaotic they are. How this they are. How that they are. How could they be so this? How could they possibly do that? I mean, all of the way that we would take what is coming to us and be so uneasy with it that we would push it back onto whatever we were looking at. So it doesn't really matter what side of anything we're on. I mean, you know, you can get very upset because you're an American and you're not in the Middle East and so forth. But then you start looking at the Middle East, and then what do you do? Which side do you side on in the Middle East? And do you understand? The confusion is endless. And the story is, if we were very careful, we see what happened in America. Well, on one short few blocks street on a town in the middle of America, we have race riots. And then we have other race riots. And then we have, I mean, things are changing. And if you remember, he said after the year 2000 began that this would indeed come about in such a direct way that it will be obvious, and his words, as far as I can recall them, were, there will be a definite dividing line. And one has to decide which side of the line you want to be on. Now, what did he mean? Did he mean you had to pick which race you were going to side with? Which country you were going to side with? That's not what he's talking about. He was talking about, what do you want to do? Do you want to be one of those who keeps, in his words, with the old way, which is reactive? I know I'm right. My family's told me I was right. My new teacher tells me this is right. This is what I'll believe. Are we going to be on automatic from the past and other people's ideas? Or, this was his point, are we going to be absolutely willing to stay as consciousness, to stay awake through it all, to stay awake? And that didn't mean bugging our eyes out and staring at things as we walk through life, because how long can you bug out your eyes and walk like that? Well, what, 10 minutes maybe? And then if that, then we forget. It's not about that. It's about something so much simpler. And his whole way of being with any confusion, whether it's minute in our own living room or immense on the world stage, is always the same. The only thing that matters is what is in motion. What is in motion? Is that in motion that focused awareness that is watching the whole thing and is steady in its own centered self? Or is it out there playing the I've got to choose game? Oh, I've got to decide game, or even worse, and this is the worst one, I have to fix it game. Is that not the main game? I've got to fix it. Something's wrong with whoever, and we have to fix it, right? No. How can we fix it? Look what's happening. With the conscious mind, all at work on the planet, nothing's getting fixed. Well, perhaps you see something getting fixed. I don't happen to. There's nothing going on that is steady, quiet, and most of all, able to really understand the other person's point of view. Not that you have to agree with it, but there has to be a willingness to hear it, to accept that that is an absolutely valid thing for them, and love them in the way that they are. How are they manifesting? That's it. That's who they are. That's it. Can we fix them? Well, you can try. But my experience is, it's not about that. And here's the exciting thing about the Bartholomew thing for me. It's not even about fixing me. Because when I got it that I couldn't fix it out there, then the storyline very easily came, well, then I have to fix me. Because obviously something has to be fixed in this thing.